Today with me we got Alex Sidlow and new to the show, Chris Borselli. And today we're going to talk about the new album by Ben Folds and Nick Hornby. I'm not sure how it's being credited exactly. It's like different on Last FM. It's just like Ben Folds, but iTunes it's Ben Folds and Nick Hornby. But either way, the album's Lonely Avenue. And the new thing about this album for Ben Folds is that he's not writing any of the lyrics. It's all UK author Nick Hornby, who wrote High Fidelity and About a Boy before they were turned into like big movies and all that.
For Ben Folds fans, this is certainly something a lot of times you could hear and think, this is something Ben Folds would say, or, you know, this sounds like, you know, what's going on in his head, which is why I think it syncs up so well.
It's the same kind of language. It's the same abrasive language.
And, I don't know, for me, I've always kind of, like, I'm not sure how many people would actually say that Ben Folds is, like, an amazing lyricist, but I actually really like him. I think he's very funny, he has a quick wit, and he's just kind of in your face at times, but at the same time, he can write some really pretty songs. So I've always kind of liked him for that. Just getting to the first song, Working Day. This song is like a minute and a half long, and it seems to be about like people like sort of talking shit about him like on the internet. Like what's the line? Some guy on the net thinks I suck, and he should know he's got his own blog. It's just sort of this like smart ass kind of thing. Like we were saying, like something Ben Folds would say.
Well, he's also the kind of person who would Google himself. The kind of person who he wants to know what people think of him because he's a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a real man. He doesn't, you know. You probably read somewhere, fuck Ben Folds' new album.
Yeah, like halfway through the song, it actually turns into, like, at first he's, like, denying this, and then, like, halfway through it's just like, oh, I suck! Like, it's just, like, the self-deprecating, like, breakdown, like, halfway through. Like.
And really, like, in addition to the lyrics, musically, I like the way this song turns around. And, you know, it keeps it short, but there's nothing wrong with a short song. If that was the idea, I like the fact that he went with it. And the way he turns it around musically, I think, really suits these lyrics well.
The next song, Picture Window, is, I think, one of the prettiest songs on the album, and if you watch the interview, I'll leave a link to it. Bless you. Ben Folds said when these lyrics were sent to him, he got nervous because he really didn't want to screw this up because the lyrics were so good, and I think he did it justice. He just he sort of like strips everything down. It's just sort of him, the piano, and some really great string parts, so that you can focus on the lyrics, and it's actually like a pretty sad song. Hope is a Bastard.
It's interesting because to me it's the brick of the album. It's a song that's really sad. It's about the kid with cancer, and he'll still be sick in 2009, which is really like Brick style. You know what I'm saying? Like the hopelessness, but it's even more like of a downer in a way than Brick is. Like Brick's content is more like harsh and heavier, but the fact that he gives the Hope is a Bastard, it's like, wow, that's so much darker than Brick ever could be. So.
And Rory brought up, I think, the best point about this song for me is the fact that it's almost untouched in a lot of ways. You know, there's like vocal imperfections that we hear from Ben Folds. You know, he's a 40-year-old guy and he's going to make those kind of things, but the fact that they left it untouched for me just makes it that much more real, that much more pure, which I think is great.
If you didn't know that these lyrics were written by Nick Hornby, you would just think that Ben Folds wrote this song because the way he sings it with so much emotion, it's like it came from him. Next song, Levi Johnston's Blues, is about probably the most untimely conception in recent memory. I think we all know who this is. It's about the time when he impregnated Bristol, and it's from his perspective, and it's just really funny how they sort of paint him as just like a total like white trash. Like, this song's hilarious.
I mean, this is the true story of Nail and Palin. I mean. The lyrics...
First time I've heard that.
The chorus is taken directly from the quote that Levi had on his MySpace page during the election, which, you know, was hilarious at the time, and then set to music. It still cracks me up.
Even before the chorus, though, the lead into the chorus with the mother-in-law, no, we ain't getting married part is like a beautiful little Ben Folds groove, and then it goes into the really catchy, you know, blunt chorus. But even the vamps in between just get me. I love those little moments, but...
Yeah.
All right, the next song, Doc Pomus, has my favorite instrumental part of the entire album. Just that piano part that plays through pretty much the entire song. I mean, with that drum part, is perfect. I love it.
I like that it's like, the rhythm is slow. Yeah. Like it's a really slow tempo, but that intro part is like 16 notes. Like it's incredibly, unbelievably fast and...
Two of us here play piano, and it's like almost unfathomable, what is going on at that point. Like, it's just so well put together. This might be my like, I think his best production on any of the tracks on this album. I think is so well put together. And the story's really great. I had to look up,
Yeah.
you know, the information because I didn't really get it at first.
You didn't know Doc Pomus?
I'm sorry. Jesus.
What? Travis,
Get off my ass.
Yeah, it's just like, I forget, what's the line about he's not the kind of cripple.
He can never be one of those happy cripples. Came right from him.
Yeah, I
He made
love
it.
that.
Yeah.
I love that line.
Doc Pomus apparently said in a biography that he's not one of those, you know, inspiring, happy kind of people, and
That's
he
awesome.
used that. It came right from his biography. So
Yeah,
I
in
love
its
it.
own way, that is kind of like an inspiring line. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The next song, Your Dogs, it sort of opens up with that like vocal hook that I'm not really all that crazy about. And I don't know, for me this song wasn't one of my favorites, but it's I think the chorus is really catchy, but it just seemed kind of like simplistic to me.
Yeah, I just overall like the poppiness of this song kind of feels forced to me, and I think this is what happens when you're dealing with a slightly weaker set of lyrics. I think this isn't one of Hornby's brighter moments.
Mhm.
Not once again, not a bad song, but weaker in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. The next song, Practical Amanda, is, I think, lyrically one of the best songs on the album. It starts off with sort of him talking about this woman, Amanda, obviously, who, you know, sees this rundown house, but she sees sort of the good things in it, and she can, like, Hornby's wife. Wow, okay, good to know. Glad you guys are here.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, she, like, sees a house that's, like, run down, and she sees, like, that she can fix it, and Hornby's sort of like, I'm a dreamer, I'm a fuck-up. And she saw me and saw the redeemable things in me.
Yeah.
I love how he sort of like compares those two things.
It's the left brain, right brain, yin yang concept, which so many relationships are. There's so many, like, one person does the taxes, the other
Exactly.
person, you know, doesn't do the taxes, I guess.
The music just really suits the lyrics, and there's some lyrics in this song that are just, you know, you're really good at all that, the nuts and bolts of living. I have no time for dates and plans. I'm too busy dreaming. It's just like, wow, this is not how I feel, but I get that.
The next song, Claire's Ninth, is about a girl.
This is my song. I love it. I love it.
You want to take the reins?
The story that I just absolutely love, and I got it after like the second listen through. This girl is waiting in the cold outside her school for her parents to pick her up for her 9th birthday party, and her parents are divorced. And her parents are obviously the parents who like didn't get civil after they got separated. Came in 2 cars, and she's disappointed about that.
Split 2 checks.
Split 2 checks. Her dad asked the waitress out, like while her divorced mother's in front. It's so sad. And I feel so sympathetic for her. And then the parents try to say, you know, like in their heads, I wish we could tell you why we're not together. You know what I'm saying? Like how the parents are, you don't understand because you're too little kind of thing, but they want to. I wish you could see how it all got twisted. You know what I'm saying? To me, that just like gets me. It just makes sense to me. And the harmonies that like go up, the way it like slides is so like, again, early. That's, what is that? Rockin' the Suburbs. That song. I love this song more than life. Like, this is
This song for me was sort of like, it was like in between the energetic songs and the really like genuine like songs. It was like in between, which is, I think, makes it great because it's like best of both worlds. The next song, Password. This song for me is pretty good. I'm not exactly crazy about when he like spells things out. I do like when he says, my middle name is Sucker.
Yeah.
That got a laugh out of me. And I was telling you earlier how I could imagine like Isaac Hayes' voice coming in there like, oh yeah, or like, can you dig it? 'Cause I don't know, just like listen to that song next time, just insert that in your head.
When Chris and I were discussing this song earlier, you know, it's the first time I heard it, I was just like, what the hell is this? And then the more I listened to it, I'm like, wow, this is actually really bold and really original. It's a cool idea, and I think he pulls it off really well. This is not how I would have originally like interpreted lyrics if I had gotten this. I love this song. I just think what he did musically is awesome.
I do too. And the him spelling it out, I know you didn't really dig it. First time I heard it, like you said, I thought he was saying words. Because now there's so many letters that like U, R, B, C, U, P. What is he saying? I was genuinely confused.
To clear up the confusion for those people who don't know, I actually looked up like the meaning of this song. It's in the booklet from the album. It's him breaking into his girlfriend's email account, and the spelling out is him guessing passwords like relating to their life. So you know, the end there's like this little ding, and he finally you know gets the right password and figures out all the secrets.
And then you hear that like,
boom.
That's like all the secrets that he's learning.
I like that song
it.
even more now, like just knowing that. Alright, the next song, From Above, I believe this was like the first single released, and this song is just, I think it's one of the most easily likable but it's also, it sustains that likability, like even, like no matter how many times you listen to it, I feel like the song is just still awesome. I just love the whole idea behind it of two soulmates, their paths crossing, but them never really getting together, marrying separate people, but still sort of being happy with their lives, just feeling like something is missing. I just love the idea of that. I think it's great writing.
I love the song. The one lyric that I literally was hung up on that I had to ask Alec about, it really bothered me. But I love it, but I want to know what it means. They say maybe that's why books get written, maybe that's why songs get sung, and then maybe we owe the unlucky ones. Like I owe you something. I don't know what that means. Like maybe we owe them like a favor. Like I don't know what it means, and I want to love it, but I just explain it to me, someone.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the line that really sums up the song is, sure we all have soulmates, but we walk past them every day. And that really sums
love
it
that.
up. The next song, Saskia Hamilton, we sort of decided was a love-hate track. I'm on the hate side. I didn't like this song. It's the one song on this album that I dislike.
It's a neat musical idea. I think this is probably Hornby's weakest work.
I love the Saskia Hamilton, the drums. Like I love that. As soon as he sings, it could be so harmonious. Skip. let's move on.
Okay, the last song in the album, Belinda. I know you guys are sort of like iffy on this song now, but
I'll explain
I
why.
love it.
But
I love it. It seemed to be like this songwriter who wrote a song that about a woman who he like dumped, and now everyone loves this song, so he's stuck sort of singing it over and over, and
Correct.
He can never
regrets
get rid of
breaking
it.
her heart. Yeah.
This was one of the first songs I heard off the album when he toured last year. He came and played Belinda, Picture Window, Levi, Johnston. Belinda stuck with me. I was singing Belinda for a year. Finally came out, and I was like, it's so weak compared to the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to not like it because of that, but I was just let down.
I kind of had the same feeling. You know, I was at the same concert, and you know, I had a bootleg version of this that I was listening to, and it was just so raw and, you know, so untouched. And this one, unlike the other softer tracks on this album, feels a little overproduced to me. Still good, and I think this is pretty strong work for Hornby. I love the story. The production is just a little bit overdone for me after hearing it so raw and so pure.
Chris, what did you think of this album? I know you liked it a lot.
Okay, I liked it so much. I love this album. We're giving it out of 10 stars?
Yeah.
Okay, I give it like 8 to 8.5. And that's really, like, I loved it. The only reason that I can't give it like 9 or 10 is because I can't listen to it from beginning to end the same way I listen to Way to Normal from beginning to end. That's my only thing. Saskia Hamilton comes and it's like,
There's
I want to skip it!
a couple of skip moments.
But Way to Normal is so short and so like perfect, like everything just flows perfectly and it's done. And it's like, I want more. With this, it's like, you could have taken out 1 or 2 tracks, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I give it like an 8.5.
Okay.
So.
What about you, Sildo?
I'm having trouble with this one. I'm going 7.5 to 8 since we get to make 2 now.
Let's do it.
I think for sure this is Ben Folds' best work since Rockin' the Suburbs. This is on par with Rockin' the Suburbs for me. And you know, I've been a Ben Folds fan for quite a long time. You know, so it was kind of hard for me to be, you know, brutally honest with this album because I would like pretty much anything the guy put out. You know, he could fart into a tin can, and I would think it was like, I would be pretty satisfied with it overall. So, you know, it has its weaker moments. Overall, I think it was really bold, and, you know, the lyric writing for Hornby, you know, has my applause. That was great. Yeah, well done. So let's say 8.
I really like this album just mainly because I think they work really well together, like I was saying before. Their writing styles are sort of similar, except Hornby sort of adds maybe even more depth with these stories that he tells. I really like the lyrics, and because even if you're not all that engaged with the song, you can listen to the lyrics and it makes you love the song.
Right.
So I give this one a 7 out of 10, and I don't know. For me, Ben Folds, I just always have a soft spot for, sort of the same thing that you have to a lesser extent, but I just love Ben Folds, so I can't really
No
say.
farting in a tin can?
Farting in the tin can I would probably pass on, but for this I can listen to for sure. Despite me not liking Saskia Hamilton or Your Dogs that much, I just think it's a really solid album. For track-by-track reviews, Chris Borselli, Alex Idlow, thanks for coming in, and we will see you next week.